just like every continent, every nation, we all have our own resources. Nigeria is a country, a geographical expression that has its own resources too. Aside natural resources, we have human resources. And amongst those human resources, we have the ones in the northern part of Nigeria. They are doing exactly what they know how to do best. They call them terrorists. They call them ISWAP, Boko Haram. And we have the spiritual resources. That exactly is what I want to talk about now. Some of these clerics, it could be Muslim clerics, or the ones that are that have decided to call themselves Christian clerics. Some of them are prophet, pastors, bishops, and just mention them, either whatever denomination you want to look into now. Many of them carry anointing, as they call it, on their legs, some on their hands, some eyes, just every part of their body. In fact, some of them have so much anointing that they can even put a little of it in a bottle and sell that and call it anointed water. Some call it anointed oil. Some even go as far as putting it on a sticker and they call it anointed sticker. Some even put this, just call it, just mention whatever it is. They can put it on anything. Some have anointed foot mat, anointed throw pillow, anointed pillow, and they even have the anointed mantle in case you want to part the Red Sea. And they have every of these things. Now, I'm not going to say if this works or not. That is not the point at the moment. Now, there is a prophecy, let's use the word allegedly said by TB Joshua, and it is about this coronavirus. I watched TB Joshua talking about the scourge of this pandemic coronavirus and how he has to close his church, and he prophesied about this. And afterwards, he ended up closing the church, which is a confirmation that he saw that something was coming up already. I think he prophesied about this sometimes January or thereabout. And now, some might say probably he has information, and some people must have told him that something is coming up. Whatever that is, the point is, he saw and he said. Now, afterwards, he now later had a kind of sit down with some of his media personalities and the rest of the people that work with him, Emmanuel TV, and they talked about how Wuhan is actually going to, the scourge, the pandemic in China is actually going to stop. And they also talked about, to encourage people on how the case has already stopped in Wuhan, China. No new cases in China and in Wuhan for about 3-4 days. And they said the fire itself is already gone. It's just the smoke that has traveled all down to Europe and down to Africa. And soon the smoke will disappear. And that sounds like a good one for everybody. But then what I'm actually particular about is this. They said, prophecy by TB Joshua on the coronavirus. According to the Synagogue Church of All Nations founder, by the 27th of March, the virus will cease to exist. And it's so interesting that today is 27th of March. A lot of people are waiting to see the end of the virus today. Is it lack of faith that has not made the virus go, or has the virus disappeared? Now, some people are even saying that the virus is going to go within a month and a week. Within a month plus a week, that's going to be about 5 weeks. That's what some people are saying. And that is Christ's mercy land. And the prophet there is Owomo. That's what he calls himself. And then Bushiri, also in South Africa, is a Malawian in South Africa, a friend of the same Christ Mercy Land Church. He also gave his own prophecy on when the virus will go. And not just them alone, many clerics here and there, prophets here and there, are always they realize that there is no cure, and they are coming up with prophecies on when they believe this virus is going to disappear. Now let's focus on what they allege that TB Joshua said. They said on the 27th of March, the virus will cease to exist. After the prophecy, thousands of people have been infected, with a whole lot of people dead. And, a lot of people are waiting to see if this virus is finally going to end today. If they're going to say the virus has ended. Now, common sense will tell us that the virus cannot finish up itself today. 27. It's not just possible because there are new cases. We are not talking of just a virus that jumps in the air on people, or something that just falls from heaven on people, or sprout out of the ground like grass. We are talking of people that already have this same virus and they transfer to somebody else. That is how virus spread. So is it that everyone in the whole of the world will be cured today on the 27th? Now, there might be people say it's a lie. Prophet TB Joshua never said this. And if he had said this, we would have given you more proof of this. But a lot of people are coming up with these stories of Prophet TB Joshua saying on the 27th. Is it that people took this out of context or what? That is the point. Now, they said TB Joshua talked about certain prophecies that never came to pass. And over time, we've been educated on what prophecy is. Some might say, no, that's not the case. I've read comments. They said there are prophecies in the realms of men, and there are prophecy in the realm of God. Yes, all this comes from the spiritual realm, but there are prophecies that will not change. There are prophecies that will not change. Nothing will change it. You cannot pray it to. You can't pray it out. These are prophecies, they say, in the realm of God. These are established prophecies that cannot be changed. Most of you are very spiritual. Many of you understand more of this. And so you can begin to look into prophecies or words that have been uttered that nobody can change. No one can change it at all. Like they say, the end of the world, this is going to happen, this and that. Prayer is not going to change such things and many other prophecies that they've given. And they say there are prophecies in the realm of men. And they give example of, how someone can pray, Mordecai and a lot of things. No, they give examples of how people can actually pray themselves out of certain issues, probably warnings and stuff like that. So in this case, what is going on here? He prophesied about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And in his prophecy, the Emmanuel TV media eventually explained that TB Joshua is not someone that is fluent in English. He speaks more of his language, but then he has to address the world in the English that he understands, the way he can actually say it. So he said stuff like, I'm going to go through what they claim that he said. Of course, the video is out there if you want to watch and listen word for word what he said. He said... He prophesied that he saw a woman winning the United States election, though he did not mention any particular name. He said he saw a woman as a winner of the election. The controversial prophet has said that the Democrat candidate, which was Hillary Clinton, would secure a narrow victory. However, a business mogul, Donald Trump, won the United States presidential election and not by a narrow gap. Trump won 288 electoral votes, 73 more than Hillary Clinton, who garnered 215 electoral votes. Now, a lot of people don't understand how elections in the United States of America works. It's not the way it works in Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria has its own too. You have to win a specific portion in several regions and states, just like that. They have their own ways. If you know about Nigerian politics, you know how the votes and elections are actually collated and what decide who becomes president. Now, United States of America also has their own pattern. There are certain states that determine who becomes president. It is very important that you know this. So probably he has seen this, but he couldn't interpret it better. Oh, I saw this person winning by number, but Donald Trump won not just by number, like majority of the people in the United States that voted for him. That's not it. He won because there are certain states that determine who will become the president of America. So people say he didn't get the prophecy right, that he shot himself in the leg, whatever that is. I'm not making a point for him. I'm just trying to let us see in between it so that we can all dialogue about this and let's talk about this. So about the prophecy, they claimed that TB Joshua got it wrong, that today is 27th, of course, and they said this is a fake prophecy, that they have waited enough. They don't know when the 27th of March 2020 will actually expire, and they said this is not true, and that the prophet came up with a fake prophecy, and that is fake, that his prophecy is not actually hitting the nail. The hammer is not being hit, it's not hitting the nail any longer, and things are not happening according to what he has said. And people are not looking at him as that true prophet of God. Now, I'm going to tell you this for free. When someone prophesies about something, and somewhere along the line, something happens along the line, doesn't necessarily mean that the person is not called by God. But that's not to say we don't have fake prophet, false prophet. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't get it right. Don't forget that this thing is like looking into the realm. It's like I'm looking down the street, everybody's looking down the street. Some people have short sight, some people have long sight, some people have telescope, some people have microscope. So it depends on what and the equipment that you have at that particular time and how you are able to interpret what you have seen. So it's a complex world out there. If you are a spiritualist, you are a prophet, or whatever it is, if you can see into the realm of the spirit too, probably be able to explain to us better about this. So Prophet TB Joshua, he said he prophesied that the virus will come to an end on the 27th of this month. But people have been doubting the authenticity of this. It's okay to doubt. It's okay not to believe that he is a true man of God. It is okay. It is okay for you to also believe that he's a true man of God. Now, many people have gone on their Twitter handle, Facebook handle, and they've kept on with this. And they said, we are going to disregard this prophecy and this prophet. They claim that, TB Joshua says this pandemic will end today. And they said they are going to pretend that this man did not prophesy that Donald Trump will lose the election, like I said. So they went into a lot of stuff, they went on. And a lot of people are even saying they don't even know why they are actually taking TB Joshua seriously. But then we have to take everything serious as it is. We have to take everything serious. It's not easy to gather crowd like he has there. Not because a fake person cannot gather crowd too, or a marabu, a spiritualist, a babalawo can also do. They have their own client too. But what I'm trying to say here, in essence, is this. Whatever it is, this is just for us to understand. It's not about bashing TB Joshua. He said it. He didn't say it's not the most important at the moment. The most important at this time is for us to maintain what the World Health Organization has already shared with everyone. Social distancing, hand sanitizer, wash your hands, and keep yourself safe. And that is the most important that you have to actually adhere to. Many churches have closed. Some are still open. If you want to go to a public gathering, disco, party, church, wherever it is, mosque, that's your personal business, but make sure you do not share anything that you get from any other person out there, because even God wants us to be smart and wise. And that's not to say we should depend only on our own intelligence or any of that and believe that it's by our power and everything's by our power. But God has given us the ability for us to reason and to do things right on earth. That is why he said, go and what? Possess the head. Go and dominate the head. Go and take charge of the earth. He's not telling you to be a sissy or a fool, a mediocre. That's why we have scientists. Or you think the scientists we have on this earth, God did not give them the wisdom? Yes, people might decide to take advantage of people using what God has given to them. Pastors can take advantage. Cleric, Muslim, Islamic, and Imam can take advantage. Scientists, whoever that's been given a gift or an opportunity for something can take advantage of it and oppress and do stuff. We understand all of this. That is why we are humans. That is why we will always be that mortal men or women that can do evil. Anyway, that's what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, we can grow together by tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.